Welcome back to the Fox Robbins Business Show. Come on in, sit a while, relax. Don't get too excited. Well,
oh no, get excited.
No, that's okay. Get excited, right? And this is the Fox Robbins Business Show, which is all about entrepreneurship, small business affairs, anything and anything you ever wanted to know or need to know.
Or didn't know.
Or didn't know.
And we didn't know.
And we're not sure we know.
Well, we're going to take a shot at it anyway.
Yeah, right. This is, I'm the co-host, Bill Fox, but,
yes.
the other co-host, this is the guy you got to watch out for because and this is the word out on the street that I understand. This guy is luminescent. And he's multifarious and he is perceptive. And he is Coach Robbins.
Multifarious?
Yes, sir.
Means they got a lot of something, but I'm not sure.
That's what they're whispering out on the street.
Is that related to nefarious? I hope not. All right.
And we're gonna do a couple of episodes and go in depth called 50 signs that you need to start your own business.
It's time.
John Rampton from Entrepreneur Magazine.
Interesting guy. I read a lot of his stuff.
Anyway, so it's not one, Coach, it's not one sign. One sign doesn't do it. It's a many
series.
Different signs.
It's a series of maybe 6 or 8 or 10 or 20 of these.
Yeah. Well, does it have to be all 50? Do I have
to? No, just enough to say it's time I did it.
Okay. Well, let me start you off. You know, this is the first on the list. On this list is you're always thinking, you're passionate, you're independent. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. There's something in the back of your head. You know, it may not be totally put together as a vision exactly, but you know, I do this now. I've been doing this for 18 years or so that I've been doing the consulting bit. That, you know, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should start a business. Maybe I'd like to do it one more time, you know. But nothing serious, nothing that really drives me forward to go and do it. If it moved to the next step, yeah. But, you know, you're sitting at your desk and you're thinking, wish I had my own business, or I'm thinking about starting my own business. And you may not even know exactly what kind of a business you want to start. You just know you'd like to have your own business. It starts there.
And this passionate, I know that word is a little bit overworked, but it's still a necessary one. A passion meaning you get excited about things.
Absolutely, you got to be passionate about it because, like I've said so many times, you're going to be doing it every day. And I mean, if it's your own business, it's 7 days a week that you know you're thinking about it. You're on vacation, you're worrying or wondering about it. You know, it's in the evening. You're going to bed. You're making notes. I always kept a notepad beside my bed on the nightstand to say, oh, I got to remember this tomorrow and remember that. I haven't done that since I don't own my own business. I just get to the next day and, you know, kind of go through the motions. And I love what I do, but it's not my business. I don't own the University of Massachusetts Amherst.
No, and independent thinking. I mean, there's nothing wrong with if you want to, you know, follow someone else's instructions. That's okay. Yeah. But you're independent. My brother, you know, forever and ever, he always used to say, little brother, you have a problem with authority. That's the way he put it.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say I have a problem with authority. And I had no problem with the people I work for, nor do I have a problem with the authority I have now. Well, sometimes I do. There are times when I don't think they're doing things correctly, and no matter how much I bring to fore my opinion and defend those opinions, nothing changes, especially in a bureaucratic system like the Eisenberg School of Business at UMass. You know, they got their rule book, which is this thick, and they don't vary at all. Yeah. But even when I was working for a good-sized company, an electrical manufacturer, you know, there are rules, there are regulations, and they have to be followed. And even if you don't like them, you got to do it. When it's your own company, you have the right to change those rules if you think it's best for your company. And so that makes you an independent thinker. And if you're an independent thinker, you might need your own business.
You're also, you're motivated.
Yep.
You're organized, and what is it you need to help people?
You really do. You really want to help people. You want to hire people. You want to be a better boss maybe than some boss that you may have had in your past. I've been blessed that, you know, I've had a lot of bosses in my life, period. But I only had one that I considered to be a bad boss, and I left that right away because I wasn't about to work for a bad boss. The number one reason people leave their job is because their boss is a bad boss, you know. And so you're sitting there, you've got a vision, which we'll get to. You feel, you know, geez, I'd love to have my own business, and I really love to do this particular technical function. Maybe it's cooking and you want to own a restaurant, or maybe it's write software and you want to get out on your own and, you know, write software, whatever it is, whatever your technical skill. You get that urge, that vision comes to you and say, I need to start my own business. So you start planning for it. That's the first thing, you start to plan.
You get up, you're motivated, you get up in the morning, you say, I got to get something done.
I got to get something done, I got to get going today. And like I said, you're going to bed at night, the night before you're going to bed, and you're making notes about things you want to do tomorrow for your own business.
You're also thinking about what you need, what needs to be done.
Absolutely, you're thinking about it the night before.
And helping people. Helping people, I guess you guys don't let that point slip because it's often talked about in starting a business being the background of the entrepreneur. The entrepreneurial spirit is the desire to help people. Yeah. It's an outward direction instead of saying, I just want to help myself. Yeah. I want to make a lot of money. I want to be comfortable. Yeah. I want to, you know, You're saying, yeah, I'm gonna help myself, but I also want to help others.
The why is the reason. Yeah. You know, the question of why am I going to start this business? Because I think I can do something better for the customer.
But I think that becomes part of that. It becomes a piece of that passion, that driving force, right? That is so important as you go forward. You know, creating a new business.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You agree with that?
Absolutely.
Maybe. Also, you think you can build a better mousetrap, a better company, a better product, a better something or other, and maybe you also feel stuck in your job, and you need to prove your quote vision that you mentioned.
Absolutely, or like I say, you feel stuck in your job. You're just not getting anywhere. There's no room for promotion. There's no upside to it. And you're just going through the motions every day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, whatever.
But you said you could build a better company. Huh?
I think I can do things better, and I do bring things up, and sometimes they're accepted and sometimes they're not because it's against the rules. Change the rule. If this is a better idea, one thing I never wanted to hear from somebody, why do you do it that way? We always do it this way. No, find a better way. And if I can find a better way, then I think I can start a company and, quite frankly, take all your customers.
Yeah. And stuck in your job,
good.
I don't know. I mean, is part of the entrepreneurial spirit is, you know, if you are working for someone else in another company that you feel stuck in your job, is that a proper emotion? Should you feel that way?
Well, yeah, there's no room for improvement. You're not learning, you're not growing, if you're not learning and you're not growing, quite frankly, you're not going to make any more money either. Yeah. You know, you're going to get that 2% raise every year, whoopee-doo. Might as well go to work for the school.
And you're saying to yourself, you need to prove your quote, your vision.
Right. I know I'm right. I have the confidence. I have an internal locus of control, it's called, if you want the fancy terminology, knowing that I have an idea. I'm going to organize this thing, and I'm going to plan and organize this thing, and I'm going to create this company, and we're going to do better for that customer, and that's why this company is going to be successful.
Okay. And maybe you have a desire to make a name for yourself. You want to put that Robbins name right up there.
Oh, that's my first company, C. Robbins Associates. I mean, you know, I was a manufacturer's representative, and I don't know if I wanted to make a name for myself, but I used my own name certainly when I'm the very first company that I started, you know, and it was a very successful manufacturer's sales representative company here in New England. So, yeah, I made a name for myself. I sold the name.
But you also want to be, you maybe want to be your own boss.
Yeah, definitely you want to be your own boss because you want to make the decisions. You want to see things and you want to make changes without having to jump through hoops and, you know, pile on through the bureaucracy that says no, you can't do it that way, or you got to do this, and you're saying, but that's a waste of time. What am I doing there? How does that affect the customer? It doesn't. It's internal, and so you just want to be your own boss, you know.
Okay. Here's a interesting point. The hiring of independent workers is on the rise. What do you think? What does the author mean about that?
Well, what I get out of it, I read the Harvard Business Review report too, and when they say, they mean freelancers, contractors, and those are people starting their own businesses. Those are people that, well, some of them are unfortunate in their getting downsized, which we'll get to. You know, you're at the mercy of the leaders of the company you're working for, that they're doing their job successfully, and if they don't do it successfully, guess who gets cut? You think the CEO is going to fire herself? I don't think so. It's going to trickle on down someplace, and the people on the lower levels are going to be laid off or fired or whatever, and then they do become independent workers. Or there are a lot of people out there that say, I want to be a solopreneur. I'm going to leave the company and start my own business and give myself the freedom to, you know, be my own boss.
Well, I think there's, I was going to bring it up to you. I mean, there's two sides to this idea. The independent worker, hiring of independent workers is rising.
Yes.
Number one is the negative side, is that in the company that you're working for, the next thing you know, that independent worker who's
got your job,
or part-time, just took your job.
Exactly, because they'll take and lay off 3 people in this department because, well, they may not need them all. They're not doing as well as, they're not growing. If your company isn't growing and your company isn't making money, right? Yeah. Where are you going? You're going nowhere. So more than likely, a couple of people get laid off and they hire somebody on an ad hoc basis, some independent worker who can come in and do the job. So you might be in the billing department and, you know, be doing billing all day, and those people get laid off and then they outsource it to somebody who just does it part-time.
On the other hand, the positive side, you say the hiring of independent workers is rising, meaning there's opportunity for me to be outside and be independent.
If they're coming in and taking your job, then why don't you get into the independence and, you know, replace somebody who's going to be laid off? Might as well be you that takes the job.
I'm just saying there's maybe a negative and a positive side
Absolutely.
to that.
Absolutely. Just like a battery, a negative and a positive side.
Okay. Another idea that you might have is that the field that you're in, lacks good jobs.
Yep.
You don't know this, but that was part of my experiences. That feeling of being in an industry that's leveling off or declining and not rising.
Right, and you don't want to be in that.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know.
Been there, done that.
And it's only a matter of time because you're going to go. The industry, you know, the buggy whip industry, you know, I mean, 120 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, in today's world, the disruption in these markets, you know, creative destruction, they call it. These companies are coming in and changing things. And today's world changes so quickly that your industry could be here today and gone tomorrow. And so, you know, if your field is if you're in that type of a market and it's going down, 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 you better get some training and find something that's going up, 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 and become a part of that.
Yeah.
A rising tide floats all the boats. Well,
yeah.
The other side of that is, you know, when the tide goes out, you go aground.
So maybe you're saying that you're looking at least you're looking at such things, but you're saying that the field you're in, that you and your business, the businesses engaged in, is lacking, good job opportunities.
Right, exactly.
But you're not afraid to take a risk.
So you have that, what I mentioned before, that internal locus of control. You know that somehow, first of all, you're passionate about it, which we talked about, 4 or 5 points ago, but you're not afraid to take this risk. Now, entrepreneurs are not riverboat gamblers, okay? They take calculated risks. So you've done the planning, you've got the vision, you go ahead and you're organizing this thing, and now you're going to go ahead and step away and start your company, and somehow you'll figure out a way to make a success of this thing. How big a success, I don't know. I tell a lot of my clients, I work with clients and say, you're going to be a success. I just don't know how big a success you're going to be. But you're going to be a success. You just have that confidence.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you're someone who's not afraid to take a risk, as far as I'm concerned, you're a different kind of person. Because when you are working for another company,
yep,
in a corporate setting,
yep,
it's far better for you to avoid risk.
Yeah, because
in a corporate setting, that's well known in.
Well, there's a problem. That's a different issue, but I'm glad you brought that up. I want to mention something about that. If you're working for a company and you're afraid to take a positive step because if it fails, you're going to get a black eye, you're working for the wrong people. IBM, Tom Watson Jr., and I forget who it was, came to him, put a resignation on his desk, and said, Tom Watson Jr., CEO of IBM, said, "What's this?" He said, "Well, I gave you a business plan. We tried to create this division. $10 million was funded. It's gone. It didn't work. I know you want my resignation." Tom Watson looked at him. He said, "Hey, we all thought it was a great idea. You took a good shot." He ripped the resignation back. He said, "Get back to work." He said, "You owe me $10 million. But if he fired him because he took a good shot, then he should quit anyway. That's the wrong company to be working for. That's the federal government. That's one of the problems. There's no upside to great success, but there is a tremendous downside to failure. That's wrong. If you're in a company like that, get out.
The author says another idea that is coming to you. Your daily commute to work is unbearable.
I said to my wife, I go into Boston on occasion, and if I have to go in at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning and face 2 hours of traffic to get into downtown to fight to find a $40 a day parking spot, you can't pay me $250,000 a year right now to do that job. I'm serious. If somebody said to me, "I give you $250,000 a year and you could," I don't want it. Not at this stage of my life, That to me is unbearable, sitting in that traffic. I'm not the most patient driver in the world, to be honest with you. Ask my wife.
But it doesn't mean you start your own company that you don't have to go to work.
You go to work, but you want to.
Yeah.
My wife.
But you also
my wife said to
work.
Me, "You're a workaholic."
You also go to work where you want to.
I'm going to work where I want to, and I was in early. I was in at 5 o'clock in the morning in my own company, getting things ready for the day, excited, having a good time, staying there after work. Before computers. Major computers that could do a lot of work today.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of pricing and doing a lot of work, placing some orders. A lot of AI is taking a lot of that droll work out of distribution. But I was there, and I went in on Saturdays. I probably worked 60, 70 hours a week then. Yeah, but I was excited about it. I was doing what I wanted to do, right?
You also have a strong, another idea, you have a strong work ethic.
Yes.
What's that? That means, well, I want to be at work and I want to be productive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people at work who say, "I don't want to be at work, I want to be
on the beach.
Out of work and doing something else.
Believe me, I got clients like that. I say, you know what? If you don't put in the hours, you opened a restaurant. You're only open 40 hours a week. Are you kidding? No wonder you're failing. You know, you're not open for breakfast. You're open for lunch. You're not open for dinner. I mean, really? And you're not open on weekends? There's no way you can make it. Yeah, a strong work ethic is a very, very important issue for anybody, whether you're working for another company or working for yourself, but especially working for yourself. But like I say, if you're passionate about it, if you love what you do, I have a strong work ethic working for the university because I love what I do. It gives, and I said to my wife once, this just seems to give me relevance in this world. Yeah. I can't imagine just retiring and sitting on a beach. I know of people who have done that, sold their company for $20, $30, $40 million, have nervous breakdowns after they can only play so much golf and sit on the beach so long and go to bingo. Enough, yeah. I got to have some relevance here.
Another idea, you may feel that you're in a rut and need to break out. If that's you keep plowing the same field on the farm,
And you know that if you plowed in the other direction and sowed a different crop, you'd be better off. So you're going to leave. You're going to buy your own plot of land. And you're going to go ahead and plant the way you want to plant. Right. And you're going to give the customer a better product.
Right. Also, you do not, another idea is that you do not overlook potential. What does the author mean by that?
It means what we were saying. A lot of these things are redundant, but I'm not picking on the author. I pick on authors all the time. But what he means is that you're able to come up with a better idea, all right? There's a potential to do something a better way, all right? And therefore, and they won't let you do it. No, you got to stay with that. But a lot of times you try to sell the boss on something. It goes back to what I said about the IBM story. It's the same type of thing. I got a better way to do it. Let's give it a try. No, I don't want it. No, we can't do that. We always did it this way. God, that phrase drives me nuts, you know?
So potential, I know.
Being innovative, and even within the company to be innovative. Look at Apple. They're one of the most innovative companies on the planet. And they're a gigantic company, but they're intrapreneurial.
But I know what this author is talking about because I myself, I've seen out there, I don't see an item, but I have a vision that there's a potential to do something better, and other people to say, no, that won't work, and this is the way everything's are done now is okay, and
this is the way we do it.
Yeah, this is the way we do it. And
well, do you think that
whatever you're telling me won't work?
Yeah, right. Push aside right away.
I've had that. Been there. Another thing I said. I don't know if this is redundant, but the author says contractors are getting more jobs.
Well, that's the independent. To me, that was a redundant, and that's fine. So like repeating what we said earlier in the show, that independent contractors are on the rise. And that's what this says. To me, they're identical, but the author maybe had a different spin on it. Contractors are getting more and more projects. Things that are not important and not everyday items to companies are being outsourced. Why? Because technology is available to outsource it. You can outsource your bookkeeping. I used to have a chief financial officer in the company for a $22 million company.
Yeah.
I could outsource that now. Yeah. I mean, because everything's online. We can keep all of our books online. Yeah. We didn't have to keep them in the store on a computer, on a hard drive someplace. So it's so easy to outsource things to, I mean, think about when you park your car at the Marriott. The guy's wearing a Marriott shirt. He doesn't work for the Marriott. He works for a parking company.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of the hotels know that the company that runs the parking for the hotel, that's their specialty. They're very good at it, and they do it cheaper than the Marriott can do it. Right. Hire and fire and train people and be responsible for it. Here you just say, here, it's your contract. We pay you so much a month, you take care of our customers' cars.
Coach, we're going to do 2 episodes on this. This is episode 1. And you guys, this is Fox Robbins Business Show. All of the Fox Robbins Business shows are uploaded to YouTube.
Yep.
For everybody's convenience, because you can look at a show whenever your time permits or when it pleases you, or when the need arises. But this is part 1 of 50 reasons why you might want to be starting your own company or thinking seriously about it. And we will go on to part 2, so we will see you guys next time.